Hi everybody, Michaela and Rory here. We are so excited to be hosting this video for Go Overseas. We'll just give a quick hello.
Hi everybody, my name's Rory and I'm from Derry in Ireland.
So Rory is going to introduce me to some Irish slang.
Often we get tourists and visitors to Ireland who struggle to understand what we're saying sometimes. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to give you a bit of a coaching class and to give you some words and some phrases to learn and maybe some context as well. So I know you're probably going to link the fantastic blog post that one of your study abroad students in Ireland did last year. So we can dive right in. The first word here, can I ask you to try and pronounce that first, Michaela, before I tell you how to say it?
Okay. Sláinte.
Okay, interesting. That is kind of how it looks.
I'm learning Spanish right now too, so I feel like I'm like Sláinte.
But actually, this you pronounce this as Sláinte. So Sláinte is literally, it's Gaelic. It's Irish for health. So it's used in Ireland as our way of saying cheers.
Do you have your coffee now?
I do indeed. Yeah, I've got my cup of coffee here.
Hey, Sláinte.
Sláinte. Okay, number 2 on the blog. All right. So, yeah, do you want to have a stab at pronouncing that word?
Okay, Craic.
Okay, so I'm sure like anybody watching this can see the blog. It's spelled C-R-A-I-C, and it's actually simply pronounced Craic.
Craic.
So what is it? It basically means, the literal translation, depending on the context, simply means fun, or it can also mean news. So, a very common way of greeting your friends or greeting, somebody when you first see them is you say, "What's the crack?"
Okay, what's the crack?
Perfect.
Okay, next up, it's grand. So, I mean, I can imagine there's a picture here of all of the students jumping up in the air upon some beautiful scenery. So it's grand is just like a great time. We're having a great time in a group.
The picture is a little bit misleading, to be honest.
Oh, go overseas.
Yeah, it's a little bit more boring than that. So it's grand simply means it's okay.
Oh, really?
So yeah, in English, grand might mean extravagant or fancy. In Ireland, it's grand just means it's okay. If you apologize to your friend for being 10 minutes late to meet with them, they might say, "Oh, it's grand," and that just means no worries, okay.
For my next trip or my first trip to Ireland, I'll be prepared. Okay,
that's why we're here.
This one doesn't have any pictures on the blog, so let's just see. Let's just see what I make up here. So, give out. I mean, truly, I'm thinking it's a little inappropriate or something is kind of one thing that I'm thinking.
Give out simply means to complain.
To complain?
Complain, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, if somebody's getting scolded or getting told off angrily, that person is being given out to. So if you're having a friendly argument with someone and then they were complaining about your point of view, then you would say, "Oh, stop giving out."
The Jacks to me seems like downtown. Like, let's go to the Jacks.
I like your thinking, and I think that's better than what it is. Like I think it's something that people need to start maybe using. But no, the Jacks, again, bit of a boring one, but the Jacks is the toilets.
What?
If you're looking for a friend, you can't find them, you're at the pub, or maybe they're in the Jacks.
Yeah, then you'll have to go to the Jacks. That all makes sense. This next one will be tough. So I've told you I'm terrible with pronunciation. So, and even I'm going with Eejit.
Just say what you see.
Eejit.
Eejit. Yeah.
Eejit. Okay.
So Eejit's a really common word. It's definitely a favorite in Ireland. And I think the example on the page is very good. If somebody got the directions wrong on campus to a classroom, you probably wouldn't call them an idiot.
Right.
But, you could call them an Eejit.
So it's playful.
it's playful. You know, sometimes you might, someone who's an idiot could also be an Eejit. You know, we might see a politician who remains nameless who we don't like. Like they're an idiot, but they're also an absolute Eejit.
That's gas. I mean, I'm thinking, well, to me, I almost think it's close to that's grand, but it seems this is much more exciting, you know? This is much more exciting of like, that's gas, like that's great, that's really cool. Oh, cool, so this would be like Craic. This would be closest to Craic, right?
To crack?
Crack.
You mean? Yeah. Do you know what? You're very close. You're very close. That's a really good guess. It's more or less right. But in the general sense, that gas means, you know, that's hilarious or that's really funny.
Okay.
If somebody said or did something that made you laugh, you'd say that's gas.
Okay, well, that brought us to the end of our 7 that was in the article on Go Overseas. But did you say that you had a couple, anything else?
Yeah, I thought I'd throw in a few more for good measure. So, you know, you might have heard me say it a couple of times already, but a word that comes up pretty much in every sentence that I say is we.
Okay.
W-E-E.
Okay.
And as you can probably guess, it generally means small.
Okay.
You know, so, you know, like the wee man over there, like, or, you know, if you see a particularly small person or a wee bit, yeah. But to be honest, if you really think about it, it gets used for absolutely everything. So, you know, if my housemate is putting the kettle on, I'd say, oh, you wouldn't make me a wee cup of tea, would you?
Okay.
And like my cup of tea isn't going to be any smaller than anyone else's, but I still refer to it as a wee cup of tea. Couple more. So, you know, we would use, you know, for something that's particularly good or excellent, we'd say that's lethal.
Ooh.
Another word for lethal would be class. I say that a lot. You know, that is absolutely class.
Okay.
Or, you know, last night was class. Or yes, you know, that concert we went to was class. Another great one, and this is very, you know, it's definitely, it's only in Ireland really you find this word, and the word is quare.
Quare.
Again, it means remarkable, excellent, means very good. You know, that was a Quare game we just watched. Or, you know, if there's a lecturer who's particularly good, she Quare knows her subject. And I'm from a small town, so I couldn't let you go today without teaching you something from a bit more from rural Ireland. And, you know, if I would really encourage your students to take this to the cities, and if I heard an American student saying this, I'd buy them a drink. Do you want to hear it?
I'm ready. I'm excited.
Okay, the phrase is, now we're sucking diesel. Okay, do you want to guess what that means?
Now we're cruising, like now we're moving, we're on a roll.
Pretty much. Yeah, you've pretty much got it.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun to review these. I feel like I've got a whole little arsenal of fun tips and tricks in my pocket for when I go to Ireland, and hopefully the students feel the same. So just as a reminder, everyone can go to gooverseas.com, explore the website. They have tons of semesters and internships, study abroad, volunteer abroad, you name it, go check it out. You can look at the reviews to figure out which is the best program abroad for you. Rory, it was such a pleasure. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope I didn't botch the phrases too much and embarrass the US over here.
Definitely not. I mean, I haven't lived in Ireland for a few years myself, so I'm sat here hoping people back home can still understand me, but I think we did okay. Just to say, you know, all the best of luck to the students who are going to travel to Ireland for study abroad. It's a fantastic experience, and you'll enjoy every minute.
Agreed. All right. Well, thanks so much.
All the best of luck. Thanks again. See ya.